What music artist's death hurt the most? Chester Bennington. So much of his / Linkin Park's music was either about hanging on, reaching out for help, or giving up. In the end, hits quite differently these days. One More Light hits way harder after his death. He was right, you know. Chris Cornell. This one fucked me up. I was and am a die-hard Soundgarden fan, and after Staley, Cobain, Andrew Wood, who I think was Cornell's roommate way back when, Weiland, Mike Starr, etc., I had thought that Cornell was kind of the elder statesman of grunge and had made it out of that sort of darkness. It's so weird because I had never met him and only seen him play live, but when he passed it felt like a close friend had died. I rarely feel any sort of personal sadness when a celebrity died, but I was pretty gutted about him. Freddie Mercury. Freddie was a man proud to have himself be known. In an era when queer was an insult that'd start fights, Freddie was as out there as he could get. He was my hero. Prince. I went to Minneapolis a couple of weeks after he died and spent a bunch of time walking around Paisley Park, contemplating how significant his music had been during different points in my life. I figured my family would have thought I was crazy for doing that, but found out my brother did the same thing a week before. He also didn't tell anybody for the same reason, lol. This. 100% this. When Prince died, I literally cried. I was 50-year-old grown-ass man at the time. Prince was a staple of my childhood, and his music remains a staple of my current catalog. Revisiting this makes my eyes well up with tears all over again. Bowie. While his death was a huge blow, I couldn't help but feel that the way he handled it was so poetic. True artist. Mac Miller. Same. Swimming is a masterpiece, Imo. It's eerie listening through the lyrics now. He references his own death so many times throughout his discography, as if dying by OD was inevitable. You could really feel his struggle through his music, but he also has a way of making you appreciate life's little beauties. Truly a great soul. Rest in peace, homie. Jeff Buckley. Discovered his music when Sketches was released a year after he died. Still so sad we'll never hear more from him, an unbelievable talent. This is mine. Grace spoke to me the way nothing else ever had. I was in high school when Grace came out, and in college when he died. It broke my heart. Taylor Hawkins. I never felt any ounce of anything when a celebrity died. I mean, who really gives a fuck if a famous person dies? Doesn't change my day-to-day routine. But Taylor passing really bothered me. Watching Dave Grohl barely able to sing times like these, and in the same concert Shane Hawkins absolutely killing it on the drums for my hero. Tears and goosebumps every time. Cobain was probably the most shocking for me, but Adam Yauch was the one that made me feel like I was getting old. Adam Yauch was my immediate thought. Beastie Boys was the soundtrack of my high school life, and when they announced MCA had cancer, it kinda knocked me on my ass. But it seemed like there was a good chance he could beat it, and I didn't hear anything further for a while. Then boom, he was gone. I sat down on my bed and cried a little. He was only 47. Amy Winehouse. Every time I see clips of Gaga performing with Tony Bennett, they're lovely, but I can't help thinking what might have been. If she wasn't bulimic, if she wasn't addicted, if she wasn't married to an absolute ass, if her father wasn't so terrible. If. She was so damn self-destructive, but I do wonder if she could have gotten her life together, and if so, what we could have had. Jimi Hendrix. I'm a huge Hendrix fan, and I've thought about this a lot. He would have completely changed the musical landscape if he had lived through the 70s. The stuff he did on Band of Gypsies and Electric Ladyland before his death was really groundbreaking. He had a huge influence on not only rock but funk, metal, jazz, blue, and progressive rock. I would love to hear what he would have accomplished if he had lived a full life.